Mhm.
Hey everybody, I'm so excited. I'm here with my good friend Kimberly Allen. She and I met this year in a program that we are still taking by storm with our coach, Megan Jo Wilson in Rockstars Rising. And so I love to say she's a fellow rock star because she really truly is. And she's going to share with us all sorts of amazing little nuggets today about her workshop coming up and about anxiety and meditation and all those things that we all need a little bit more of in our life. Well, not the anxiety part, but you know. So, Kimberly, I would love to just give you a chance to share with us. I know you're a health coach and a meditation teacher, and you have a program. You meditate twice a day. It's like such a huge commitment. I absolutely love it. And I know I personally, and I'm sure that people watching want to know, what led you to this turn in your life to have this kind of practice and this kind of offering for people?
Yeah, thanks. I'm so happy to be here with you. And yeah, so Kimberly Allen and um, I have been doing yoga and meditation for probably close to 20 years. And it's always been sort of a side thing, a little piece of my life that has just always been in the background. And I've worked as an executive director in the nonprofit world for many years. And it's a high burnout, anxiety type of job. So, right, you're like in charge of a whole organization and you have to raise the money so everyone can get paid, right? So that's like
no stress at all.
None, right? None at all.
Yep.
So it's super hard. And I know there's a lot of super hard jobs out there, right? And so just coming from that point of like, we all have hard things to do, and some jobs are just seemingly over the top across the board hard. And so I used meditation and yoga just to help keep me even and sane. And then when COVID hit and our organization was shutting down, I just thought, what do I really want to do? And I had been studying and training and working as a health coach also on the side. And I realized I just want to do that all the time. Like, that's what I want to do. I want to get out of this idea of having to work for somebody else, and I want to work for myself, and I want to help people at this different level, right? Like from a very personal level, not so much like the community-wide piece, right? But really personal with people. So that's where I started. And then recently I committed to 6 a.m. and 8 p.m. every day, 30-minute meditation. And it took me a little while to get there. As if anyone's ever meditated, you know, it's an up and down thing. Like, it's really easy to do that for 3 or 4 days. And then something comes up and you're like, oh, well, I'll do it later, you know? And so I just decided, you know, if I can't dedicate the time, how can I convince other people to dedicate the time? And so I first started out with just 6 a.m. and it felt like people were sort of asking like, can you do it in the evening? And I said, you know what? Yes, I can. I'm going to do it at 6 a.m. and 8 p.m. And that way there's no excuses anymore. Like, both those times, one of those times will work. Guarantee it.
Yeah.
And so for me, it's about the dedication to the practice, what it gives us, and being an example. Like, if I can do this, you can do this, you know?
Good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me, like, so I mean, I meditate just about every day. I do, you know, I'm totally into Kundalini, and I do Kundalini meditation almost every day. I'm into my 7th 40-day meditation this year. I'm on like day 36 of a 40 days. So I'm like, oh, I'm almost there.
You're almost there.
Yeah. And I know when I commit and I follow through, that it creates tremendous change. Like, it's a really dramatic shift. So I'm curious, like, what's something you've noticed in yourself showing up twice a day for 30 minutes? Because that's, I mean, that's huge. That's a huge commitment every day. Yeah. So tell me, like, what is that like?
It is, you know, it's, at first, I would say it was a little stressful because I was like, oh, you know, because people are waiting for me too. So I would make sure I get up, I can't sleep in. But then it has created this great structure to my day. Like my day starts at 6, well, it starts before, but like, let's say formally starts at 6 a.m. And then at 8 p.m. I do my meditation and my day is done. So maybe I just read, I don't work anymore. And so that freedom of like, this is when my day starts, this is when my day ends. And it may not sound like freedom because it's very structured, but that structure gives freedom. And also I'm so much calmer than I was. I mean, I'm pretty calm most of the time, but I'm sleeping better. I wake up easier. I mean, there's just so many things where I can pause in my day because I have this practice of stillness that if I'm struggling with something, even if it's like, what do I want to eat, right? Instead of going to the cupboard, going to the fridge and like rating it for anything and everything, I'm like, I pause. What is it that I need? So I think it's that structure, which helps with the freedom, sleeping better, making better choices, because I have this sense of there's not everything has to happen immediately. Yeah. So I guess that's the biggest thing, is that there's this freedom to just take a moment to pause.
And to, like, what I hear is also like to really tune into what your needs are, like not just, this mindless kind of compulsive acts that we go through in a day to day. It's like this, if I could, like, there's one word, if anybody asked me, like, what's one word to describe Kimberly? And I'd be like, Zen. Like, you're always so like grounded, right? Like it's this, when you speak, you're like coming from this place of pause where I can relate because I get that feeling, like when you're returning home is what it feels like, what meditation feels like, right? It's like returning home. I love it. I mean, I'm just blown away with the commitment. Like I've said, I've done some committed practices myself, but twice a day is like, to me, feels like, oh my God, how good, right? And then you have other people showing up for you. So there's that incentive that, I can't not show up. There's people counting on me. So there's ability. Yeah. So tell me, so I know you have this workshop coming up next week, and it's called 5 Ways to Reduce Anxiety and Overwhelm. So like something that probably every single human on earth, particularly these days, needs.
Right.
And it's happening on, maybe I'll let you tell me, because I didn't write it down. When is
it? It's Thursday, December 3rd at 6:30 p.m. Eastern time.
Okay. So you have this workshop, it's online, so people from anywhere and everywhere can join. And it's at 6:30 Eastern time on December 3rd. And so tell us, like, what is this workshop gonna look like? And maybe you can give us a little teaser of something we can do.
Sure. Yeah. So what we're going to do is kind of go over, a little bit of the background, this kind of science around anxiety and overwhelm, like where it comes from, and that it's actually a natural response in our body to what's happening around us and where our mind is. And that it's something that we can then start to have some semblance of control with. And so the little teaser here, and it ties back to meditation, is that you can use your breath to help overcome the feeling of anxiety, the sense of overwhelm, and that, simple breath practices, from Kundalini and other yoga practices, and even just with meditation, it all starts with just breathing and paying attention to the breath. And so our nervous system, our, sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous systems are activated. And so then the breath can actually control our nervous system to some extent. And so that's your little teaser of, how can we help ourselves? So there's some really easy tools. I shouldn't say easy. They're simple, but you have to remember. So the hard part is that you have to do them.
Yeah.
Them themselves are simple.
That's so funny. And it's so true. It's like, I can't even tell you how many times I say that. I'm like, this is simple, but it's not easy. Like, it's not easy to incorporate this, to make a consistent practice. I love, that's such a good little teaser, because when I think of anxiety, I think of it as like we're like in the future, right? We're living in the future, thinking and worrying and obsessing. And then actually sometimes when I think of depression, I think we're kind of living in the past, like
in the past, yeah,
we're going over things that we've done and what we should have done and what we've lost and what, like, so when we're living in either the future or the past, we're missing out on our life, like, which is happening right in front of us. And so I talk about it as like breathing your way back to the present, because it just helps bring you right back to where your life is happening right here. And then that can help to dissolve some of that anxious, stressful feeling. Yeah, so good. So good. So this, I think, is something that everybody can benefit from. We all need tools to help deal with this stress and anxiety and the overwhelm. And like I said, particularly now, but really, let's be real, this was going on before, right? Like we were all stressed and anxious and overwhelmed before. So is there anything else you'd like to share with us, Kim, before?
Yeah, I would really just like to share that, the idea of meditation and these breathing practices and even stuff that you offer with Kundalini and your coaching practices, I think you just get started, right? And you take one little step. And so like I tell people in the meditation program, come to 1 day a week, and then come 2 days a week, and then maybe 3 days a week, right? Like you don't have to conquer the whole thing at once. And that's where we get stuck, is we like, oh my gosh, we're looking so, like you're saying, we're looking so far ahead. And so it's like, you know what, just right now, what is the thing you can do right now? And take a breath and just take one step.
Yeah. Oh, that's such good advice, because I mean, when we're thinking about doing things that are good for us, sometimes that contributes to the overwhelm, because for like one more thing I have to do, like I'm already so taxed out, right? So it's just, and we're constantly saying this too, is like just one step, like one, it can be like, I've had clients like folding your laundry every night, folding your laundry when it, like starting the washing machine in the morning, folding it at night, like just incorporating these simple, small little tasks. And over time, building it up. And I always just say, like, just explore it, see what's good for you. It didn't take us overnight to get to where we're at right now in life, right? So we need to take time to transition and shift and to grow and to learn new things. Yeah. Such good advice. I love it. And so I'm going to post the link so that people can register for your workshop next week, just attached into this video. And if people have any questions, they can always reach out to you. Is there any other ways that people can connect with you and follow you?
They can go to on Facebook. I have a group called Together in Meditation and More. Okay. And so I put stuff out there for community building in this sort of living in awareness type theme. And also my website, which is kimberlyallen.net.
Awesome. So we'll put those links in the comments as well so that people can see that. And I just really want to thank you again, Kim, for sharing your wisdom, for sharing your smile, and for sharing your Zen with us. And and I look forward to hearing from others who have watched, as far as what their feedback is and what they're thinking, what they're ready to start trying and tackling.
Me too. Thank you so much, Sandra.
Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you.